Hi everybody, I'm just here to do a really quick video on these two Bluetooth speakers. So this is the Grain Audio PWS. That's that one. And then the previous front runner, I guess you could say, the one that was probably most popular, had quite a lot of positive reviews on the internet, is the Jawbone Jambox, the Big Jambox rather, the large one. There's heaps of reviews about this one, so I'm not going to go into too much detail. If you're watching this, you're probably looking for a Bluetooth speaker, and you're probably looking for the best one that's out there. And that's what brought me to this. It's really good. I enjoyed it for a while. I've had it for about a year. The battery life is phenomenal. You wouldn't believe how long you get out of this. You know, like 10, 12 hours, like convincingly, you know, full volume. Even though they say 16, you know. But even so, you'd be really surprised, you know, how long that actually is. You know, you start it up at, you know, 6 at night, and you know, 6 in the morning. It's still, you kind of catch yourself and go, oh my god, this thing is still running on battery, and it's really loud. Now, you know, like I said, I enjoyed it. It's good, but it didn't do everything. You know, it's you know, I think the quality is a little bit lacking, to be honest. Like it is probably the best, before this thing came along, Bluetooth speaker out there. You know, there's ones from Bose, and you know, some others around. That one's super portable. You know, it's very sturdy, heavy. You know, it's got the battery. It's got two speakers in there, and all that sort of stuff. Now this, there's not many reviews on the net about this. It's still pretty new. Grain Audio itself is a new company. They only make about 4 things, all kind of revolving around audio, you know, portable listening, although they do have a bookshelf speaker out as well. You know, the first thing between the two is obviously the size. The Big Jambox is huge. The PWS is not so big, so you can kind of see that there, I guess. Actually very similar in colour, almost the exact same colour. This, I gotta say, I've had 2 days to audition it. And I like it. I like it a lot. In fact, I'm going to keep it and get rid of the Jambox, I think. I can't comment on the battery life yet. They quote 8 hours. If that's true or not, I don't know. But I have to say, the sound quality out of this, it's not as loud, you know, I'll say that. It's probably only about 70% as loud. So if you like music really loud and portable, and like, you know, if you're going to have like a party, if you're going to have like, you know, 10 to a dozen people around, and you know, between 2 or 3 rooms, you know, this, you know, in the same room, you got to shout, and in the neighbouring rooms, you know, you'll hear it. This is not so loud. You know, you definitely got to speak up if it's in the same room, but outside of that, you're not going to hear it too much. But that being said, the bass from this, I feel is more. This seems to cut out, you know, or taper down, you know, maybe let's say what, 120, 160 hertz, and it just, you know, it tries to kind of fill it up in those frequencies, but anything below that, it's quite lacking. This, you know, I have it on the table, and it's even at half volume, or let's say at the same volume, this is like rattling. It's, you know, it's quite heavy. It's not going to move around. Don't worry about that. And the rubber feet are quite, you know, quite soft. So that's really good. You know, once it's on the table, it's not going to go anywhere. But much better. You know, the sound quality as well, not only the bass, but the mids, the highs, you know, like, one thing I really noticed, you know, that noise you get when they're sliding across the frets, and, you know, you can just kind of hear that up end, that top end so much better. You know, the cymbals, they have a real sort of visceral kind of, you know, you can, you know, I've got some other speakers, some studio monitors and some bits and pieces around here. You know, I've had some good headphones, and I gotta say, this is, I don't know, it's a little hard to believe really, but it is a really good sounding speaker for the size. You know, absolutely, I recommend it. Now, it's not without its faults. I have found at low volumes and at some types of music, usually, let's say rock, like post-rock, sort of, a little bit quieter, but guitar heavy music, not heavy guitar. I don't know, there's some artifacts, I think, from the compression. You know, they're very minor, and it's only a few songs I've been able to bring it out on. And you know, it's not a reason not to buy it. Like I said, I think I've made up my mind and I'm going to be keeping this one. You know, and if you put the volume past halfway, or you're not sort of like point blank to it, you're not going to hear those little inconsistencies in the music, what I like to call them. But yeah, that's it really. You know, the box that comes in, I've purposely not done an unboxing. I think they're the most boring things ever. But in the package, you get a. If you're from America, you know, you can just kind of. You'll get the US charger. I'm in Australia, so they have to package a travel adapter with it. You get this nice case. You know, it's pretty well padded as well. You know, the thing fits in there quite easily. There's little clips at the top. You know, I like this, and I think this is a really good inclusion. And the reason is that, as you probably know, this is real wood, and it has been, I guess, stabilised, or you know, I wouldn't say varnished. There's maybe some kind of treatment to it, but I can see that if this was to get wet, you know, you'd probably stain the wood. And of course, being wood, any kind of you know, you dent it, you know, you're gonna be stuck with that. So, you know, would you carry a hard case? I don't know. It's kind of, it's a bit painful carrying around a hard case, isn't it? This soft one's really good. It comes with it. It's great. I like the speaker. As for pairing and usability and all that sort of stuff, the Jambox has the track forward and track back. This has only got the volume up and down, and then of course this glowing G in the middle is the power button, and when it's off you hold it for 5 seconds and you pair. Super simple. Something I also like, I like it, but you know, technology wise, you know, you sort of can't escape it. The Jambox will charge from both. It has an external adapter and it has the micro USB. I hate having extra chargers. I just want everything in the world to be micro USB. But the benefit of, you know, it accepts both, and the benefit of having the external charger is that, you know, you can charge that massive battery in there reasonably quickly. Now this, it's got your 3.5mm headphone line in, and it's only got a micro USB, which is great, but you know, if the included chargers, I think 0.1 of an amp, and you can go for like things at the 0.2 or something. Maybe it's 2 amps, I'm not sure, but just to say, I don't know if this is going to charge as quick, and that kind of boils down to the actual usability of it, you know. But in both cases, you know, if the battery's flat and you have it plugged in, it'll just play indefinitely, so that's not a bad thing. But yeah, apart from that, it's really good. I think they both have 2-inch drivers. They both have passive radiators in there. I think that the difference in sound I'd put down to, this feels like a sealed system, or it sounds like, you know, it's very tight, the bass is, you know, just all over the place, everything's just really well presented, excellent sound stage. This probably sounds wider, to be honest, than the Jawbone. Yeah, just fantastic. And I can't believe it's so small either. Like I've got the Swans Mark III speaker, sorry, the M200 made by Swan, and like, you know, side by side, you know, I think these are brighter. You know, the monitors are obviously a lot louder, but just the amazing thing is that it's not night and day. You know, I don't feel like I'm making a massive concession when I'm bringing this around with me, and I think that in itself is quite impressive. You know, it reminds me of headphones in that it has a very kind of clean top end, and it's really well presented. It's just right there, and it's just a fantastic speaker all around. Now, I haven't had a chance to test this thing's battery life, and I really hope that it lives up to the 8 hours, even though that is not as good as the Jambox. You know, let's say almost half, because I think they quote 15 hours now, for the Jambox, that is. You know, 8 hours I can live with. So assuming that works, yeah, that's great. I think this is a really good unit. Yeah, price-wise they're about the same. This cost me $300 Australian to get here, because it was another $50 for international postage. Yeah, that's it really. It's a really nice unit. The other thing as well, this is I wouldn't say. It's a little, you know, it's got like all these noises when you turn it on, and then when you turn it off, and it's actually firmware upgradable as well, so you can actually change the sounds, and it's got like all these themes and stuff. So it's, you know, it's pretty fun. You know, I think it's a bit of a party speaker where you just kind of, you know, like hanging out you're not paying. You're just hearing the music rather than listening to it. I think that's probably the best way to separate it. This, if you just got a couple of people around out of the back having some drinks, it's loud. It'll crank dance music. It's pretty good. You can give it a bit of a hammering. You can take it down the beach and throw it in the sand. It's not going to phase it one way or another. It's pretty rough and tumble, as they say. And if that's the kind of thing that you're after, by all means go for it. It's still a really, really solid unit. But if you wanna listen to the music as opposed to just hearing it, I think this is pretty good. It looks fantastic. You know what I mean? You can sit it on your desk, and the real wood just looks gorgeous. So that's pretty much all I have to say on that. If you have any other questions, just PM me or put them in the comments, and I'll be happy to reply. But that's it. Thanks for watching.